Well, howdy there. Welcome back to Wrestling Jeopardy. This was posted 3 days ago. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it as soon as it premiered, but we had adoption stuff come up. We've been really busy with that. We had the assignment of reading a few books and have to do a book report on them. And once you've been in school, you know how that is. So, and say hello to my little doggo. Yes, he licking me. Yeah, yeah. Well, stand up. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yep, my little boxer. Name's Marshmallow. Deaf. So, we communicate through hand signals. Doesn't know ASL or anything. Not even gonna bother. But, alright, lay down. Good girl. Good girl. Alright, so, without any further ado, I need to get my paper ready so I can keep my score. Alright. That's... Okay. 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 One, two. Oh, I've done this backwards, but oh well. Okay, anyway, let's get that up on screen. There we go. Alright, let us check this particular quiz out. Yeah, how about we actually, press play on the YouTube thing, shall we?
What's up, guys and gals? It's time once again for Wrestling Jeopardy. I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And let's go to the board now and check out the categories that you'll test your knowledge on in this episode, starting with geography.
Oh boy.
Followed by bodyguards.
Oh.
Next up, we have nicknames. And then Three's Company, which are going to be talking about famous wrestling trios. And last but certainly not least, Tag Team Brothers. And notice the quotation marks around brothers.
Brother.
If this is your first time playing, well, welcome in. I appreciate you stopping by. Here are the not so extreme rules so you understand exactly how this interactive play-along trivia contest works. All I ask is that you leave a comment with your score below, and quite possibly you might wind up sitting where, Dwayne?
At the head of the table.
All right, so let's jump in and kick things off with the 200-point round, the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy.
Okay,
We're going to geography for 2. Who hails from Death Valley?
The Undertaker.
You know, I've always been a weather nerd, so I never quite understood why The Undertaker was from Death Valley, because summer temperatures, on average in the shade in Death Valley, are about 120 degrees, and the dude's wearing all black.
Who puts that on the... Ooh.
Let's go to bodyguards for 2. In June of 1993, Kevin Nash left WCW and signed a contract with the WWF, where he became Shawn Michaels' bodyguard under this name.
Like, is Diesel? Or Big Daddy
Given
Cool?
the nickname by Shane O'Mac, Shane McMahon, the correct answer is Diesel. Of course, I'd also accept Big Daddy Cool Diesel. And you get
Okay.
extra credit if you did this sound effect while answering the question.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
And that brings us to nicknames for 200. Who is the Princess of Staten Island?
Oh, crap. I know her name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
And the answer, who is Carmella, or also Mrs. Corey Graves? And that brings us
Could
to
have got
Three's
that one,
Company
but
for
just
200.
escapes me.
What was the name of the trio of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins?
That'll be the Shield.
And the correct answer, who was the Shield? All right, let's finish up the 200-point round with Tag Team Brothers. What started as a silly storyline full of half-brothers was the reason this pair eventually teamed up not only in ECW, but also WWE, Japan, and TNA to become one of the most decorated tag teams in wrestling history.
That'll be the Dudley Boys.
And the answer, who is Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys? Now, before we move on to the 400-point round, just want to give a quick shout-out to The Brass Ring, The Mike Sanchez Show, The Wrestling Show featuring Sleazy and The Fat Man, and Egg Buskus. Really appreciate you guys doing reaction videos to Wrestling Jeopardy. Keep them coming. All right, so
I got shouted out! Oh! Wow! Dude, so freaking cool, man. Ah, man. I got a legit shout out to my channel. Thank you, Wrestling Jeopardy. Alright. Okay, let's keep this going. Alright, geography.
let's
400.
move on to geography for 400. Who hails from Bad Street, USA?
Bad Street, USA. It's, Razor Ramon? No, it can't be.
Yes, that's Bad Street, Atlanta, GA, the baddest street in the whole USA. And who hails from
that
there?
was Freebirds.
Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and Buddy Jack Roberts. The fabulous Freebirds. Bodyguards for 400. In late 1998, Andrew Martin caught the eyes of WWF officials while he was working as a bodyguard for Motley Crue and was soon signed to a contract using this ring name.
1998. Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm not well versed in wrestling bodyguards, so this category just might not be my cup of tea. So, yeah, I have no idea.
This is not a test,
Test.
because the answer is test. Here comes nicknames for 400. Who is the Archer of Infamy?
It's Damian Priest.
I love this gimmick when he was in NXT, basically as like a rock star hanging out in hot
Yeah.
tubs with hot chicks. The answer here, the current, as of this recording, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, who is Damian Priest. And that brings us to
Yeah.
Three's Company for 400.
Okay.
Name this wrestling trio of Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, and Jinder Mahal.
3MB. Two of them are gone.
And the correct answer, who is 3MB?
The only thing you need to remember is 3M.
Finishing
Sorry, that
up
was
the
my fault.
400-point round with Tag Team Brothers. This tag team of Texan brothers had a solid 3-year run in the WWF, winning 3 tag team championships until they split in 1996.
Smoking Guns?
Now, I hope you paid attention to this clue, because if you look at it again and you see the word run, it has 2 N's. The correct answer, who
Smoking
are
Guns,
Billy
okay.
and Bart, the Smoking Guns. And we're starting off the 600-point round with geography. All right, take some time to tally up your score and then make your daily double wager.
Okay, let's see. 4, 8, 12, 16.
All right, time is up. Here is this episode's daily double clue. Who who hails from the bottomless pit?
Oh, I have no idea.
Lock your door, check under your bed, and hopefully you don't hear the tick-tock of his clock. Hailing from a mysterious abyss known as the bottomless pit, we're talking about the Boogeyman. All right, here comes Bodyguards for 600. Before forming a tag team with the Barbarian called the Faces of Fear, this tough Tongan served as the muscle for Colonel Rob Parker and his stud stable in WCW.
I'm gonna say Ming or Haku.
And the correct answer, who is Meng? Nicknames for 600. Who was called the Russian Bear?
Oh, Kozlov?
And the answer we're looking
Ivan
for,
Volkov,
who was
right, okay.
Ivan Koloff?
Koloff, whatever.
Moving on to Three's Company for 600.
Okay.
Name the famous wrestling trio of
Oh,
Bam Bam
great.
Bigelow, Chris Candido, and the franchise, Shane Douglas.
The Misfits? No. Can't be the Misfits.
That would be
Triple Threat.
the Triple Threat.
That was ECW.
And closing out the
so
600
I
point
don't
round
know much
with
about
the
ECW.
Tag Team Brothers, more famously known as Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. These two brothers got their big break at the 2007 Armageddon pay-per-view, where they played Edge's doppelgangers.
I think Edgeheads?
And the answer would be
The Major
Brett
Brothers.
and Brian, the Major Brothers.
Huh.
All right,
Major
15
Brothers.
questions
Okay.
down, 10 to go. Hopefully
So,
you're having as much fun as I am. If you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the ringy-dingy notification bell so you always get notifications whenever we come out with a brand new episode
Okay.
of Wrestling Jeopardy, which is always every weekend, specifically on Saturdays.
Man. Wow, man, freaked out.
All right, and the
I love
800-point
Macho Man.
round begins with a clue from geography. Who hailed from 3 Mile Island?
3 Mile Island.
One of my favorite WWF New Generation era gimmicks.
New Generation
I always
era.
thought he'd make a good tag team with Bam Bam Bigelow. You could have paired him up, called him the Atomic Booms or something like that. Yes, I know I'm a big nerd, but the correct answer,
Adam Bomb.
who is Adam Bomb?
Wow.
And that brings us to Bodyguards for 800. Wearing a suit and a constant frown, this bodyguard protected many a wrestler during the 1990s, from the York Foundation and Lex Luger in WCW to Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Chris Jericho in the WWF.
Wearing a suit. So,
And that would be
Mr.
none other
Hughes.
than Mr. Hughes.
man.
Moving on to nicknames
This
for
is a tough one.
800, whose nickname is Mr. No Days Off.
Mr. No Days Off.
And the answer here, the artist formerly known as Darren Young,
Darren Young.
who is Fred Rosser. We're on to Three's Company for 800. Name this famous wrestling trio that consisted of The Ascension and Stardust.
Oh. They weren't around long enough to remember.
These guys were
Cosmic
known
Wasteland,
as the
okay.
Cosmic Wasteland.
They weren't around long enough to.
And let's
to be
close out the
memorable,
800-point
so.
round with
I
tag
didn't
team
know.
brothers. On the surface, these two burly, bearded men were easy to buy as brothers. Plus, they won the NWA Tag Team Gold together
Oh.
and were effective enforcers as part of the Four Horsemen.
I think it's Arn and Ole Anderson.
And the correct answer,
Yeah.
who is Ole and Arn Anderson?
Are you nuts? Don't f***ing do it again. Piece of I said, you. And Arn Anderson, I always liked him.
All right, the steel cage is beginning to lower. The ominous
Okay,
music
so
has begun to play,
800,
which can only mean one thing. We have
800.
reached the most difficult part of Wrestling Jeopardy, the 1,000-point round. Get your thinking caps on, and let's go into geography for 1,000. Who hailed from the other side of the tracks?
Oh, the other side of the tracks. I've heard that before.
And the correct answer here would be former WWE Tag Team Champions Deuce and Domino, managed by Cherry.
Deuce and Domino. Okay.
Closing out bodyguards for 1,000, 7-foot-tall Jackson Andrews made only a handful of appearances for WWE in December 2010 when he acted as this Canadian wrestler's bodyguard.
Oh, I should know this.
Talk about only being around for a cup of coffee, right, Mach?
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
The correct answer, who is Tyson Kidd?
Oh, okay.
And that brings us to the final clue from nicknames for 1,000. Who was the Latin heartthrob?
Benny Guerrero? No. Chavo Guerrero.
Former world-class championship wrestling heavyweight champion.
No.
And he also played the Black Scorpion, managed
No.
at
Yeah,
one time
completely
by
wrong.
Gary Hart.
Okay.
The correct answer, who is Al Perez?
Oh, yeah, I'm way off.
Let's move on to the final clue from Three's Company, famous or not so famous wrestling trios. Who were Jackson Riker, Steve Cutler, and Wesley Blake?
Oh, again, not around long enough.
How could you forget about these guys? The correct answer,
Forgotten Sons.
who were the Forgotten Sons? And closing out the board with Tag Team Brothers for 1,000, after working elsewhere as the Destruction Crew and the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2, the WWF transformed this veteran tag team into two spoiled rich brats and called them this.
Oh. Yeah, I have no idea.
And that would be Bo and Blake, the Beverly Brothers.
What a gimmick, huh? Alright. Well, going into Final Jeopardy,
And
3,800.
we've reached Final Jeopardy, where if you don't bet it all and go all in, then why'd you even really play this game? I mean, come on,
It's
just
true.
go for it all. It's not real money. I'm not going to be giving you anything. You're just basically playing for pride and bragging rights. So let's find out
No,
this
this
episode's Final Jeopardy
This one
clue,
was
which
tough.
is enhancement talent.
Oh, this should be
Similar to offensive linemen in football, these performers do the dirty work, despite often being overlooked and underappreciated by the common fan. Their technique, selling, and willingness to give back to the business make these wrestlers a special breed. So pull all of that enhancement talent information from your noodle and place your wager
I
right
don't
now.
have a noodle. Bet it all. I always do.
All right, time is up. Here is this episode's Final Jeopardy clue. As the infamous Abe Knuckleball Schwartz replacement Doink the Clown or the Brooklyn Brawler, this jobber took losses from just about everyone in the wrestling business. Good luck.
Son of a crap, Daniel. I don't even know his real name. All I know him is the Brooklyn Brawler. What's his name? I can't think of it. Big Fat Zero.
As the infamous Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, replacement Doink the Clown, or the Brooklyn Brawler, this jobber took losses from just about everyone in the wrestling business. A company guy through and through, this jobber carved out a legacy that will never be forgotten by fans. The correct answer,
Steve
who
Lombardi.
is Steve Lombardi? And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy! If you like what you saw, please give this video
If I actually thought hard enough, I could have got that one, but as you can see, Big Fat Zero. So it's like I only knew him as the Brooklyn Brawler. It's like whenever he made special appearances for WWE, that's all I knew him by, was the Brooklyn Brawler. So thank you guys for watching, and I want to give a big thank you to Wrestling Jeopardy for shouting me out and shouting out all those other reaction channels. It really does help us out. So until next time, I will be seeing you.